Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing playing another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Gonna quickly get into some bite down boxing talk. Check me out at www.bitedownboxing.com as well as roundbyroundboxing.com. I just put an article up there about Virgil Ortiz, an editorial piece, just kind of reaction to last night's win. I'm also happy to be rocking my Iron Mike Tyson t-shirt from Roots of Fight. I'm not really a big fan of this fight with him and Roy Jones Jr., but I really think speaking of heavyweights, getting ready to talk about Joyce, but I really think, man, this gave him something. I think these guys need something to do. And while that podcast stuff might be great for somebody like me, it just might not have been it might not have been something that he could focus on and get out of it, what he needs to feel alive. And I feel like the last time that I saw him in the ring, he probably didn't want to go out. That probably been bugging him for years that was the last image of him in the ring. So anyway, they're going to get it on September 12th, I believe. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about a current heavyweight in Joyce, who moved to 11-0 with his 10th knockout of Germany's, I think that's where Michael Wallisch is from, who was 20-3, former German champion or something. Third round knockout, 3 knockdowns. Joe is what he is, man. He's 34 years old. The clock is ticking. I'm very interested and anxious to see the showdown between him and Daniel Du Bois when they can get that. After Du Bois, who's he fighting? Some cat named Pfeiffer or something. So we'll see what happens with that when these two guys. I would imagine that Triple D moves past that guy and that they get to this fight. But yeah, Joyce is not beautiful. His style is not beautiful. It's not pretty. He was popping the jab. He's got a bit of an awkward lean to him. He gets out over that front foot, that front knee, kind of put sometimes with his chin up in the air. You saw in the first round, Wallisch, I think is how you pronounce it, landed a couple of shots that I thought like stunned. We don't know how much contact these guys have been taking lately. Joyce was also 270. 14 pounds north of what he was in his last fight against Brian Jennings back in July. And I didn't think he looked that bad, but he was heavier. And then if you go back to the couple fights before Brian Jennings, he was around he was up at like 265 and 261 in the fights before that. So to be 9 pounds up, 5 pounds up, where he's been recently, I didn't think that was that big of a deal. And like I said, he didn't look bad. He passed the eyeball test. But, not the best defense. He throws a lot of hooks. He's just got a weird mood. It's a weird movement about him, but he kept his hands active. The first knockdown in the second round, the only knockdown in the second round, that was a nice right hand that he placed to the body that really hurt and caused some trouble for Wallisch. He got him back up in the ropes, swung a couple more hooks with both hands, and that's dangerous when you're bending over like that. I know we got all the controversy going on right now with Deontay Wilder, but when you lean forward like that and you're hurt or stunned and leaning forward like that, you're really putting yourself in harm's way when guys are trying to swing at where you're going to. And he got caught low in the back of the head. They called it a knockdown. Boxing is dangerous. It is a dangerous sport, and you just gotta trust in guys to do the right thing so that you get out of there. He gets up and gets into the second round where he's dropped twice. The first knockdown was a left hook to the crown of the head. That's kind of pretty much mostly what Joe Joyce was throwing And then he comes back. He gets up from that one. I didn't think he was going to continue from that. But he gets back up and continues on. And then the best combination of the fight for me came in that last sequence with the right hook to the chin and then the left hook to the body. Or do I have that backwards? It might have been the left hook to the body, right hook to the chin that closed the show. Nah, I think it was the left hook to the body. Yeah, it was the left hook to the body. I'm sorry. I went and got some food after the fight. Details a little bad. Yeah, that left hook to the body was well placed, and then the right hand up top to set that up. Dropped him, and the referee came in, and they had a short discussion and decided. Looked like Wallisch was still trying to compete, still trying to carry on, but I think it was a smart decision that the referee called it. Wallisch was a big dude. He was at 261 himself. Hell, he had to be a good 6'5", 6'4", 6'5" and a half. Joe Joyce is 6'6". So, again, man, you don't always see the most skill and several aspects of boxing with the heavyweights. But these are big dudes, man. They don't move that great. 270 pounds. A lot of these guys plod along and whatnot. And I just always wonder, it seems like so many of these guys aren't sound defensively and technically just not sound. And it's almost like the game plan for a lot of these guys is to be able to take the other guy's biggest shot to land their shot. And, taking big shots is just a cost of doing business. Now, quick look at Joe Joyce and Daniel Du Bois if they do in fact meet up. Du Bois has some, and I've talked about it on here before. Du Bois has some deficiencies too defensively, and he gets squared up a lot. But he's way more agile. He moves a lot more fluidly up top. Like I said, that it was just very awkward looking, and it was like he links up his body to get power in his shots, but he throws punches on the wrong foot in between steps. And granted, he didn't look. What I saw tonight, I didn't see much of that against Brian Jennings. Last time he was in there. So, but he was jabbing to the body, jabbing upstairs. Like I said, kept the pressure on, and looked to take a guy out of there. So you gotta like it. It's heavyweight boxing. He did his part to get us to the Triple D fight. And we'll see when they get that set up. I think they were aiming for what, late August or something? Or September. That don't sound right, late August. That sounds a little like a quick turnaround. But it was just 3 rounds of work. Like I said, Wallisch was touching him in that first round. That was a big concern for me. But again, you don't know how much sparring these guys got. So I'm not going to pick him apart too much. It's great to get the win. You get the stoppage. He did it kind of his way. I think he did adjust a little bit and started seeing Wallisch's shots a little bit better in that second round. And, he stays undefeated. And we still get the big showdown here in, the next 2 or 3 months. That's it, man. My name is Wood. Again, check me out on BiteDownBoxing.com as well as RoundByRoundBoxing.com. Let me get on out of here, man. Bite Down Boxing. Don't let them count you out. Peace.